judicious. I keep the walker behind me in case I start to fall, because this is where I fall the most. These two are my lifesavers. They're my pain medication. I have to take morphine twice a day, every 12 hours. And then I take my oxycodone, which is Percocet. I take that throughout the day. I'm prescribed 4, but my doctor told me on the real bad days I can take up to 6. I also have to take Lyrica is my nerve pill. I have to take that. I can barely walk without that. I take that twice a day. That's one of the very expensive ones I'm hoping we can cut down on if I get medical marijuana. Also, my Celebrex, I'm on the highest dose allowed by law for, and that's an anti-inflammatory. That's another expensive one. This is my muscle relaxer. I take 3 times a day. I try not to take it as much because it causes severe dry mouth. That's the worst one for that. And if I take all 3, it does make me tired.
Julie Hornsby has had 5 back surgeries. She was left with permanent nerve damage after her insurance company denied a needed surgery. By the time she got the procedure, it was too late, and the pinched nerves in her back were partially severed, leaving her with significant pain.
It is the worst pain you can imagine. It's worse than post-surgical pain at times. It burns, it stings. Some days I can't even wear clothes to put these jeans on. I put numbing gel all over my legs just so I can wear jeans. It's called lidocaine. So that's one of the things I have to do just to get dressed. If I'm sitting outside in shorts and there's a breeze some days, I can't even stand it. I have to cover my legs.
Stories like this are all too common. Nevada passed an amendment to the state constitution to allow the use of medical marijuana in 2000. But 14 years later, there are still no dispensaries open in Reno or Sparks. This will soon be changing as local governments approve zoning and other requirements for dispensaries and grow houses. And by the end of the year, the Truckee Meadows could see its first medical marijuana dispensaries welcoming patients. Bloom is one such dispensary, located in Oakland, California. Bloom has roots in Nevada and provides a peek into what local dispensaries could look like.
We started the company when we incorporated in Nevada back in 2008 or 2009. We actually thought Nevada was going to be one of the first states to develop a plan. So our thought process was we were going to be able to get off the ground and running there pretty quickly. Now, while they've legalized marijuana there for a long period of time, they actually haven't implemented the program till recently, and it's developing this year. For us, we're excited that Nevada's actually developed a plan now because we can come back home and work in the very state where we had originally anticipated to start our company's endeavors into the medical marijuana market.
I'm not the kind of person, as you can see, I don't want to go down to 4th Street and try and find it. I don't want to grow it myself and get in trouble somehow for doing that. I'm not even sure. I'm worried about the strength and things like that. And if there's dispensaries, they'll be able to control that.
We see about 700 or so patients on a daily basis, and with a wide variety of ailments, everything from anxiety to sleep disorders to back pain to cancer to HIV, you name it. A lot of times they'll come in understanding what strain it is they like to use to offset their symptoms. Other times they'll come in and they'll want to consult. We can direct them to strains that we know from other patients that they've given us feedback saying, this is really good for lower back pain, or this is really good for sleep disorders. We're able to pass that information upon to the next patient so that they can try something and hopefully it has a high level of efficacy in their ailment.
Providing patients with the right kind of medicine and the right advice in a safe environment is what Bloom owners pride themselves on. Beyond that, they also provide jobs and taxes to the local communities they serve.
In the Reno area, they're going to require that they permit their own cultivation facilities and they sell within their county's borders. And that's just a protectionist measure, and it makes a lot of sense for us because they want to create the jobs. So A cultivation facility that we're looking at, for example, is about 50,000 square feet. It's going to cost a couple $1 million to set up, and it's going to create 25 to 30 living wage jobs. And those are jobs that people then go out in the community and they go to restaurants, they fill up their gas tank, they buy clothes, they do these types of multiplier effects where that dollar that they make is replicated multiple times in the local community. And that's why these businesses and these economies are so powerful right now. There's no other growing industry that exists in the marketplace that's growing at this rate, that's creating the amount of jobs and paying the amount of taxes as medical cannabis is. So that's why these local governments are implementing these programs right now. It's because of the economic effect that translates throughout their community.
These dispensaries can't come soon enough for people like Julie.
There's a whole lot more people like me than anybody thinks. I know I have nothing that's life-threatening, but it's quality of life-threatening. And like I said, we've changed our lives so much, and I just think it might give me some relief.